So power is equal to force into displacement. P is equal to force into velocity. So what will be the SI unit of power? SI unit power सबको पता है. SI unit is watt, isn't it? Watt. Dimensional formula
m1 l2 3/3.
you have done. Force into velocity. Force is what? Mass into acceleration, isn't it? Verify it. What is m1? m1 then okay. वर्क हो गया, एनर्जी पावर हो गया. नाउ नेक्स्ट इज एनर्जी. राइट इट. एनर्जी. So energy is the ability to work, no? It is the ability to do work. Now in energy you have got two parts, mainly mechanical energy I'm talking about here. Okay, so mechanical energy I'm talking about. Mechanical energy has two parts. One is kinetic energy, another is potential energy. We know the definition of kinetic and potential energy. Kinetic energy is energy of an object due to its motion, na? What is kinetic energy? Class 9 में भी था ना? It is the energy of an object. Energy of an object by virtue of its motion. And potential energy, energy of an object by virtue of its position. Okay. Right. Next. So there is a very famous theorem and very important theorem for your exam, that is called as work energy theorem. Work energy theorem. So what is work energy theorem? It states that the change in kinetic energy is equal to the amount of work done. Okay, the change in kinetic energy is equal to the amount of work done. This is called as work energy theorem. Now if I know to, so if I want to see the proof, let's see. Using, okay, let u be the initial velocity of an object, okay, and v is the final velocity of the object, and m is the mass of the object, and a is the acceleration of the object, okay. So using, there is a relation from you know this relation, using v square minus u square is equal to 2as. We know this formula, okay. Now if you multiply half m both sides, okay, multiplying half into m both sides, what will get? Half into m v square minus half into m u square is equal to half into m 2as, isn't it? So what is this half mv square? This is final kinetic energy, na? This is final kinetic energy, and this is initial kinetic energy. So you can write here final kinetic energy kf minus initial kinetic energy ki is equal to 2 to cancel out, m into a into s. So kf minus ki, m into a is what? Force into displacement. S means displacement. Okay, so force into displacement is what? Work done, na? So kf, or you can say right here kf minus ki is equal to work done. So work done equal to change in kinetic energy. Okay, next thing is law of conservation of energy. Next topic is law of conservation of, here I'm talking about mechanical energy. Okay, energy means I'm talking about mechanical energy, because class 11 এ যেটা mechanics বা physics আছে, it is mainly mechanics. So law of conservation of mechanical energy, law of conservation of energy states that we know the definition. It states that the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy, or you can say in different way, it is for mechanical energy. In general way we can write right. It states that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. nor hai eta, nor be destroyed, but can be changed from one form to another. Proof, very important for exam. Let us see the proof. For example, I've got a ball here. It has been dropped from certain height, and for example this is the ground. So after some time the ball will come at this point, isn't it? And at the end it will hit the ground. So let this point be, this is point number A. Right. So for example this is point number A, this is point number B, and here at the ground it is point number C. So height is, this entire height is for example h. Okay, একটা বল আমি ড্রপ করছি from height h and it reaches the ground. This is the ground, lower part. So we know that. Now we'll calculate what is the total energy at point A, point B and point C. Okay, so let m be the mass of a body dropped from height h. Okay, now I will calculate what is the total energy at point A, B and C. So total energy মানে kinetic plus potential energy, total energy at point A. How can you calculate the total energy at point A? So what is the kinetic energy here? Because this ball, এই বলটা কি রেস্টে আছে না, here velocity is 0 না, at point A বলটা আমি ড্রপ করি নাই, so initial velocity is 0. So total energy E is equal to sum, or you can say EA is that energy at point A, sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy. Kinetic energy is 0 na, because half mv square, velocity is 0, and potential energy will be how much? mgh, you know. So what is the total energy at A? It is m into g into h. Okay, now we'll see what is the total energy at point B. Okay, now the ball has been dropped, from A to B. Now let this distance from A to B is x. Okay, so how much distance it has covered? X distance. Okay, now we'll calculate what is the velocity of this object at B. So from journey from A to B, A থেকে B journey তে, or initial velocity is 0 na, final velocity will be, or B তে কত velocity, that is the final velocity. Okay, so which formula is used? Let, now we'll calculate what is the total energy at point B. Okay, what is the total energy at point B? Obviously it will be same, sum of kinetic and potential energy. Okay, let us first calculate what is the kinetic energy. So কেটে গেলে আবার জয়েন করবে, হ্যাঁ। টেল মি হোয়াট ইজ দ্য পোটেনশিয়াল এনার্জি? এখানে কত হাইটে আছে এটা অবজেক্টটা? h minus x হাইটে আছে না? So what is the potential energy of the object at point B? It is, potential energy will be mg h minus x. Okay, now let u is equal to initial velocity at point A. Actually u is equal to 0 na, initial velocity, and for example v1 is the final velocity, the journey from A to B. Okay, now we'll use this formula, v1 square minus u square is equal to, okay, I can write like, wait, we can use this formula, v square minus u square is equal to 2s. So it will be converted into how much? Final velocity is what? Final velocity is v1, isn't it? Initial velocity is u. U is actually 0 here. Okay, 0 square is equal to 2, acceleration is g. Okay, acceleration is due to gravity, and what is the distance covered? X, isn't it? This case v1 square is equal to 2gx. Okay, this is for example equation 1, this is equation 2. ঠিক আছে? Next, what is the kinetic energy? Kinetic energy we have calculated, potential energy we have calculated, isn't it? Okay, this is equation number 2, and this is equation number 3. ঠিক আছে? So kinetic energy at point B will be how much? Kinetic energy is equal to half m v1 square, isn't it? That is half m into 2gx. So it will be how much? Is equal to m into g into x. Okay. Okay. mgx is the kinetic energy. I think you are under. So kinetic energy हम पे गेलाम, potential energy पे गेलाम, isn't it? Kinetic energy I got, and potential energy also I got. So what is the total energy? Total energy at point B is equal to sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy. Okay, so kinetic energy is what? mgx, and what is potential energy? M into g into h minus x. So what I am getting? It is mgx plus mgh minus mgx. So mgx cancel out. So total energy at point B is, for example, EB. So EB is also equal to mgh, isn't it? এটা আমি কত পেয়েছিলাম? mgh only, না? EB is also mgh, you can see. This is equation number, for example, 4. Next we'll calculate what is the total energy at point C. Point C matlab just before hitting the ground. Okay, just before hitting the ground, what is the energy? So now we'll calculate what is the total energy at point C. Same case. See, when the ball hits the ground, the potential energy will be zero, na? Height zero ho jai. So potential energy is zero. So only we will have kinetic energy. ঠিক আছে? So potential energy at point C will be equal to zero. Okay. Now we'll have to calculate what is the energy just before hitting the ground. Ground hit করার আগে or just বা velocity টা কত ছিল? So for this journey from B to C, B থেকে C journey মধ্যে what is the initial velocity of B? It is v1, না? Or let final velocity is, for example, v2. Okay, final velocity is, for example, v2, है कि नहीं? A से B का journey में initial velocity is u, which is equal to 0. Final velocity is what? v1. From B to C, this final velocity v1 becomes initial velocity, and final velocity is, for example, v2. That is just before hitting the ground. So we'll use again this formula using v square minus u square is equal to 2as. What I'll get? v2. What is the final velocity? v2, na? Is minus v1 square is equal to 2 again g. Tell me, what is the displacement now? Displacement is h minus x, na?
স্যার h minus x তো পয়েন্ট b তে ছিল
না, from point B to C, what is the displacement? From point B to C, what is the displacement? H minus x, na? You see figure, h minus x, na? এই জার্নিটা আমি কনসিডার করছি না, B থেকে C তে। Okay, so this is h minus x. Now what is v1 square? I have calculated somewhere the value of here. See, this is v1 square. v1 square is 2 gx, na? So this gives me v2 square minus 2 gx v1 square is 2gx na, is equal to 2gh minus 2gx. So this 2gx cancel out, bracket লিখে রাখো, v1 square is equal to 2gx. Okay, so this gives me v2 square is equal to 2gh. Therefore kinetic energy formula কি হবে, half m v2 square, that is half m into 2gh. How much? 2 to cancel out, that is mgh. Okay, so I've got the kinetic energy. Therefore what is the total energy at point C? Total energy at point C is, for example, EC is equal to sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy. Potential energy is 0 na, kinetic energy is mgh. This gives me total energy at C is also mgh. So what I am getting, therefore total energy at point A, B and C is constant. That means what? Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, isn't it? No new energy is creating, only they are getting transformed from kinetic energy to potential energy to kinetic energy, isn't it? So what is the total energy at point A? It is mgh. What is the total energy at point B? It is also mgh. What is the total energy at point C? It is also mgh.
সে টোটাল এনার্জি এট পয়েন্ট বি তে আমরা পোটেনশিয়াল এনার্জিকে টাকে h - x কেন নিলাম?
কোনটাতে?
টোটাল এনার্জি এট পয়েন্ট বি।
পোটেনশিয়াল এনার্জিটাকে h - x করি না, mgh। ওহো, কই এটা দেখো, it should be mgx na, some mistake is there. mgx, okay, let me see, এটা আগে বলতে লাগছিল, আমি মিস করেছি। টোটাল এনার্জি এট পয়েন্ট এ তো ঠিক আছে না? ও এটা ঠিকই আছে। হাইটটা কত আছে এখান থেকে? পোটেনশিয়াল এনার্জি কোন m ইন্টু g ইন্টু হাইট, হাইটটা কত এট পয়েন্ট বি? ইট ইজ h - x না, ফ্রম দ্য গ্রাউন্ড, ঠিক আছে।